Now, let's get real for a minute. Some dads aren't just dealing with distance, they're dealing with resistance. Every request feels like a negotiation. Every message feels like it needs to be proofread by a lawyer before you hit send. Every attempt to connect with your child feels less like parenting and more like asking permission to exist. And when that becomes your reality, it wears on you, not just emotionally, but mentally. You start overthinking every word. You replay conversations in your head at night. You wonder if you should push harder or back off or say something different next time. I remember during my own court situation, I was told, and I quote, "As you know, I am the primary custodian and I make decisions about his hair and everyday decisions." Now, understand this. That sentence wasn't actually about hair. It was about hierarchy. It was about reminding me where I stood. It was about positioning one parent as authority and the other as optional. And that moment right there will bait you into a dangerous mindset. The mindset of trying to prove you deserve to parent your own child. You start crafting long responses. You start listing reasons. You start defending your love like it's on trial. But here's what I had to learn. And I had to learn it the hard way. You can't argue someone into fairness. You can't debate someone into respect. And you can't force cooperation from someone committed to control. Every time you try, you drain the very energy your child actually needs from you. So instead of fighting harder, I changed strategies. Step 1, document. Don't debate. I stopped sending emotional paragraphs. I stopped explaining intentions that were already clear. I stopped trying to get the last word. Instead, I documented dates, times, requests, responses, short, neutral, and factual. Because arguments live in emotion, but courts and patterns live in facts. Documentation isn't about revenge. It isn't about building a case in anger. It's about protecting your reality from being rewritten. When tension is high, memory becomes selective, yours and theirs. But written patterns don't shift. And here's the unexpected benefit. Once I started documenting instead of debating, I felt lighter. I didn't have to carry every frustration in my head anymore. The record carried it for me. Step 2, set boundaries without bitterness. A lot of dads think boundaries mean confrontation, and they don't. Boundaries are calm, repeatable sentences. Please communicate through text so we both have clarity. I'll follow the court-ordered schedule. I'm only discussing matters involving our child. I won't engage in arguments. No attitude, no sarcasm, no hidden jabs. Because once emotion leaves the conversation, control loses oxygen. Some people rely on reaction to maintain power. If they can make you angry, defensive, or desperate, they steer the interaction. But when your responses become predictable, short, and respectful, the chaos stops feeding itself. You're no longer participating in conflict. You're operating within structure. And structure frustrates manipulation. And step 3, focus on your circle of influence. This is the one that changed my mindset the most. I couldn't control what was said about me. I couldn't control decisions made outside my parenting time. I couldn't control tone, attitude, or narratives, but I could control what my child experiences with me. Consistency, routine, calm correction, undivided attention, play, conversation. Kids don't evaluate parents based on legal titles. They evaluate based on emotional reliability. While someone else might focus on authority, you focus on safety, and safety builds attachment. Over time, children don't remember who had more control. They remember who felt like home. Step 4, protect your peace before contact. This one is critical and most dads skip it. You can't move directly from conflict to presence. Your nervous system doesn't reset that fast. If you've just read a frustrating message and immediately pick up your child, you're still carrying tension they didn't create. So build a reset ritual. Sit in silence for 2 minutes before pickup. Take 10 slow breaths in the car. Pray. Walk around the block. Turn the radio off and let your mind settle. Your child should never feel like they have to emotionally recover from adult tension. They should only experience your steadiness. Because a calm parent regulates a child's nervous system far more than any rule ever will. Step 5, lean on support. Isolation magnifies frustration. You start questioning yourself. You start wondering if you're overreacting. You start internalizing things that were never yours to carry. Talk to other dads, mentors, a therapist, someone grounded who understands custody dynamics. You don't need people to fuel anger. You need people who reinforce perspective. Because once you realize many fathers walk this same road quietly, the weight shifts from personal failure to shared experience. And shared experience builds resilience. And here's the truth every dad listening needs to hear. A resistant co-parent does not define your fatherhood. A custody label does not measure your impact. And control does not equal connection. You are building something deeper than authority. You're building trust, brick by brick, pickup by pickup, conversation by conversation. One day, your child won't remember the wording of legal agreements. They'll remember how they felt with you. So remember this line. You don't win by proving your character. You win by living it. And consistency over time is louder than any argument you could ever make.